Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan A. Moody, and I'm here to give you guys the newest Criterion collection. And I'm really excited. I have a lot of movies to go through. I know I did this before, but we're gonna do this every year because there's new things to add to my collection every year. So every year you'll get a whole new perspective. So this is 2023. I've got my Indie Film Cafe shirt, my Indie Film Cafe mug, I'm drinking my cocoa out of, and we're going to go right into it. Wish we had a Blu-ray Hunter shirt and stuff, and mug, but not yet. We're going to. It's happening. So first off, I'm gonna go into the 4Ks for my Criterion. Um, my sister's dog wants to come and say hello, and I'm gonna shut these things. I did not see those earlier. All right. All right. Let's see. So we're gonna start with my 4K of Citizen Kane. So it actually looks really cool. So if you look at that, and you get like, I don't know if it spells out Kane, which was pretty neat. But yeah, it's one of those movies that, if anything, definitely deserves a 4K release. So there you go. Another one is David Lynch's Mulholland Drive on 4K. Also comes with the Blu-ray. So these both come with the Blu-rays. If you don't have the Blu-rays of the movies, get the 4K because you get the Blu-rays anyway. That's what I did with Mulholland Drive. I did not have the Blu-rays of it, so it was cool to have. Next is Uncut Gems. Another movie I don't have on how do you open this? Okay, there you go. So there you go. I have not actually seen this yet. I want to. It's A24, but I just haven't had the chance. So hold on one sec. I'm gonna bring the next group in here, but those are all my 4Ks. So all three of my 4Ks. All right. Ugh. I don't know how I'm gonna do these. This is a big pile, by the way. I'll put this over here. Okay. So we're gonna start with these, I guess. And so we're gonna start with numbers, because we're gonna do this alphabetically, actually. So it's interesting. So first off is Two-Lane Blacktop, which I didn't know much about it. If I'm correct, somebody got me this. I don't know if it was Rick Weaver or I think he had. I know he got me medium cool, but or maybe I got it myself, but I'm not sure. But Two-Lane Blacktop. Then Seven Samurai. So two, then seven. So Seven Samurai. And then we've got The 39 Steps. That's a classic Hitchcock movie. If you haven't seen it, it's really, really good. And then, I think we're going to be doing this for this season of Hooked on Hitchcock, which begins soon. Yeah, it begins recording soon. So there you go for the next season. All right. So after that, we've got a really awesome box set. Now, I don't have many box sets. I think I have two. I think you only have two. And this is one of them. So this has Head from the Monkees, Easy Rider, 5 Easy Pieces, Drive, he said, A Safe Place, The Last Picture Show, which is like amazing, the King of Marvin Gardens. So the ones I've seen Easy Rider, I've seen 5 Easy Pieces, and The Last Picture Show. I don't think I've finished 5 Easy Pieces. It's a little slow for me. May want to rewatch it at some point, give it another try. But I want to see all these other ones too. A lot of them have like Jack Nicholson in them. And the cool thing is, if you buy the box set, I believe I got it either from Criterion themselves or I got them from like Barnes and Noble on their like website. But it comes with like a booklet, America Lost and Found, BBS story, comes with all these pages. I don't want to show anything off because you gotta buy the movies and stuff, but it's definitely well worth it. Especially, I mean, those three that I mentioned, plus Head and a couple others, are just really, really worth it. So next pile, we will do all the way through all the bees knees. Next, Badlands. So this is this is an interesting one. I really liked it. It looked really cool. I know we're going to be doing this for Criterion Watch soon. I really enjoyed it, and Sissy Spacek is amazing in it. It's Terrence Malick. I mean, how much more awesome can you get? Another movie I just saw recently was Band of Outsiders, and I really, really dug this movie too. Quentin Tarantino, I think I mentioned this the last time I did this thing, but Quentin Tarantino created his company, A Band Apart, based on this movie. So here you go. Barry Lyndon, one of my newer ones from the pile. And I will just say that Barry Lyndon is really good. It's really long. And uh it's really worth it checking it out. It's a piece of like cinematic history. The Big Chill. Now, I need to rewatch this because the first time I watched it, I did not like it as much. But I think it's because I thought it was a comedy and it didn't make me laugh. And then I think I found out it was like a drama. So I was like looking at it in a different perspective. So maybe I'll have to give it another try and see what I think. But it's got some really good like um interviews and Q&As and things like that. So a new interview with Lawrence Kasdan, the director, and a reunion with the cast. So that's awesome. Another movie I love, The Blob. This is definitely going on Criterion Watch at some point. We're definitely reviewing this. It is a classic. If you haven't seen The Blob, what are you doing? Go see it. Blood Simple, Joel and Ethan Coen movie, and it is amazing. It's their first film. It definitely sets the tone for everything they've done after that. Blowout, which I believe was a Brian De Palma's like sort of remake of Blow Up, if I'm correct. So, which is also on Criterion. So you could have like a double feature if you get both of those. I don't have Blow Up, unfortunately. I have Blow Out. Might eventually get Blow Up, but not yet. Just don't have it. Maybe next year I'll have it. Who knows? Bottle Rocket. Probably one of the only Wes Anderson movies I can watch. I like this and I like Rushmore. After that, it just got too quirky for me, and I just kind of like, not my cup of tea. But Bottle Rocket is really good, and I believe it has commentary in this one. Audio commentary featuring Anderson and Owen Wilson. So definitely worth getting. Brazil, a movie I mentioned the last time I was not a huge fan of. Um, and I need to rewatch it at some point. I know it didn't blow me away. And you're probably wondering, Jonathan, if you're not a fan of the movie, why do you still have it? I want to collect all the Terry Gilliam movies, obviously, and plus I want to collect all the Criterion films. Even if I don't like them, I'm still going to keep them. Even like The Big Chill, might give them another watch later. I'm never going to get rid of it out of my collection. I want to have a huge library because who knows, one day somebody may be like, "Hey, can I borrow Brazil?" And I have that option. Next is Breaking the Waves, another movie I still haven't seen yet. It's an hour and 59 minutes, so it's It's like an hour, almost an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. Is that right? Is that wrong? I don't know. I'm really bad at math, so I'm gonna guess it's an hour and 40 minutes. And not hour, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Sorry, 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm really bad at math, obviously, but I meant 2 hours and 40 minutes. And that, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I definitely want to see it. I'm definitely going to see it. So we're on to the C's now, and we only have two C's, and then we'll do D's. So C, City Lights, Charlie Chaplin movie. Still haven't seen it yet. I saw a couple Charlie Chaplin movies. I want to see this at some point. So this will probably be on my 365-day watch at some point because I do want to see it. And I own it. I also want to see The Great Dictator. I want to own that. Just because that's also a very big piece of history. So this movie I keep being told to watch, and so first of all, I've heard it's really dark. I mean, and like it's really traumatic and sad and moving. I haven't seen it. It's called Come See Me, and I don't know. Like I don't know when I'll be in the mood to see it. I feel like I have to be in the mood to see something that's gonna make me like really cry, and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm I'm a crier. I don't give a fuck. I can say that. I'm a crier and I'm worried about seeing this movie. All right, next is Day for Night. So we're going to the D's now. And Day for Night is Francis Truffaut, and I absolutely adored it. It's a great movie. Really well done. It definitely kind of shows the chaos of making a movie. Days of Heaven. Oh, Terrence Malick once again. He's probably one of my favorite Criterion directors. Paul loves Stanley Kubrick. I love Terrence Malick. I mean, we both also love each other's, like I love Stanley Kubrick and he loves Terrence Malick as well. But this, just some reason, Days of Heaven just always, just something about it. And Dazed and Confused, Richard Linklater. Not a movie that I assumed would get a Criterion release, and it, like, once again, it looks great. Like the cover is kind of cool and all that stuff, but like it's a very famous, very big movie. But I think a lot of Richard Linklater's movies get released. A lot of them are sort of independent, so it kind of makes or obscure, so it kind of makes sense. But whatever. Here's my other box set. So it's Guillermo del Toro, and it's his box set that has three of his movies, and I don't even know how to open it. It's like you have to do this. You have to actually open from the bottom like that. Then you get this, and then it's kind of cool. I'll open it up. It's kind of hard to show you guys, but there you go. Like, oh, you have to open up like this. It's kind of like Citizen Kane's box, like that. Ugh, jeez, Louise. So you open up that box, and then you get another box that has the booklet in it. It's almost like a storybook. Oh, one thing I'm missing, by the way, speaking of storybooks, one thing I'm missing is freaking was it Princess Bride, which also has a very storybook. And so I thought it was in here, but this is just the storybook. The movies are actually in here. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of I don't like the way they did this, because they're in sleeves like this. So you pull them out and you can scratch them that way. Maybe it isn't scratchable, but I think it is. So I'm like really worried. It's not scratched, but thank God. Which one's this? Guessing this is The Devil's Backbone. Okay. Ah, they're written on there. So see, that says The Devil's Backbone. This one says Pan's Labyrinth. It's got a little story on it. Talks about what it is, I guess. This is the disc for it. It's kind of cool. It's Pan's Labyrinth. And then last, but not least necessarily, probably least in the sense of this stuff, is Kronos, his first movie. Kronos. Here you go. All right, so I'm hoping that's right. I don't know. I'm hoping that did okay. Can it shut? See, this is why it's a pain in the butt. Like, I get it, it's cool. I don't like it because it's a pain in the butt. So apparently I have to put that in the middle, this booklet in the middle. Have all of these cover it, I guess. And then this is a pain in the butt. I'm sorry. I love you, Criterion, but why do you do shit like this for me, to me? Like, oh, you can't figure this out? Not really. I bet I'll get people saying, oh, I figured it out the first second I did this. Good for you. You want a cardboard cookie? All right. There you go. That's done. All right, moving on. That's Del Toro. Next is Downhill Racer. Um, I'll just say this for this one. This was really cool. Like, I didn't know anything about it. All I knew is Robert Redford and Gene Hackman are in it, and that's it. This was like early Robert Redford, and it was great. I mean, if you're into like sports movies ish stuff, it's a ski movie, and it's interesting. I liked it. A lot of fun with it. I mean, eventually it'll get done on Criterion Watch. You just I gotta figure out where to put it, when to do it. So we'll see. Next is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, another movie like Dazed and Confused that like I'm not sure about. Like, why is it on here? I said like 10 times. Did not mean to do that. So there's this guy that does YouTube videos, and he's been mentioning that uh Criterion has been doing a lot more bigger titles. And I get it, because when they do that, it's, you might be killing the brand of Criterion. Criterion's the top. So when you do the bigger name movies, you're sort of not showing off the top of the list. You're showing, but technically movies are the top of the list. Some of those are the top of the list and everything. And I adore all of them, whatever they pick, and they picked Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Definitely a classic. We did it for Hollywood Boulevard podcast, and I loved it. Again, The Fisher King. Never seen this yet. Terry Gilliam, Robin Williams, Jeff Bridges, and music by George Fitton. Is produced by Deborah Hill and Linda Obst. I mean, it's a great movie from what I keep hearing. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I will. I will probably by the time that this goes out, I would have seen it by then, hopefully. Foreign Correspondent, a film by Alfred Hitchcock that I really adored. And we're not going to be doing for, we will be doing for Hitchcock, but more toward like another season, maybe fourth or fifth season, if we get that far. All right, hold on. Let me go grab the other group. Well, second to last. Okay. This is going to be interesting. All right. So we're going to do up to K, I guess, right now. Every Criterion begins with K. Not really. All right. So next is The Graduate. The Graduate. A movie that I had never seen. I maybe I'd seen like clips and stuff of it, but I'd never seen the whole thing until recently, until I bought it, and then I was like, I gotta watch this. And I watched it and was like, I thought it was really good, but it's really weird. So just know it's not like your standard straightforward uh romantic comedy kind of thing or anything like that. It's nothing like that at all. It is a comedy. It has a little romance, but it is not a romantic comedy. So just to let you know. Okay. Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate. The movie that gets a lot of flack for what it is. And it's got 2 discs because the movie is really, really long. Movie is 216 minutes. So pretty long. I did watch this, and I think it's an amazing movie. Um, it's one of those I'm going to do on Criterion Watch, but I'm going to bring on a guy who knows the movie very well, and hopefully we can talk about that. Hidden Fortress, another movie I need to see. From what is it? Akira Kurosawa, and same guy did Seven Samurai. I need to get all the Akira Kurosawa movies, but I want to get all like I want to first get all the like the main ones. So this and then I don't know whatever's next. There's a few that I want to get. Um, but it's definitely a movie that it's inspired Star Wars. It's Star Wars. Star Wars stole the idea. Just like Seven Samurai, Magnificent Sevens kind of stole that idea. Um, happens. All right. I Want to Hold Your Hand, which I just recently watched and absolutely adored. It is Robert Zemeckis' first feature film. It is a movie that basically helped put him on the map. Executive produced by Steven Spielberg. I mean, this movie is something that executive produced by Steven Spielberg. It's amazing. I want to see the short film that basically helped get him the role, get him the director's chair. It's awesome. In a Lonely Place, which we did for Criterion Watch, and it's good. It's a really good film noir kind of movie. I liked it a lot. I would watch it over and over again, actually. It's really good. Um, Humphrey Bogart is amazing. But I mean, I've never heard somebody go, "Oh man, Humphrey Bogart sucked in that film." So usually the movie may have not been great, but he did a fantastic job. The In-Laws, another movie kind of like The Big Chill, which I just could not get into. I do want to rewatch this. I do love Peter Falk. It was Peter Falk and Alan Arkin, and I love both of those guys. I just don't know why I wasn't into it. I just wasn't. So sorry. Uh, Sorry about that. Next is another Terry Gilliam movie, Jabberwocky, which I did watch, and I really had a fun time. I enjoyed this movie. I need to rewatch it again, because it's ultra silly, but it's pretty fun, and I enjoyed it. Does it have commentary? Like, that's all I care about these days is like, does it have a commentary? Yep, audio commentary from 2001 featuring Gilliam and actor Michael Palin. So it's got 2 Monty Python guys talking about the movie. The Killing. I was talking about Stanley Kubrick earlier. Love this movie, The Killing. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. All right. I don't know if these are no. Yeah. So here's L to M. So L is The Lady Vanishes from Alfred Hitchcock. A movie that is a little slow at times, but it's a pretty interesting movie. And what's really cool about this is it comes with a feature length film called Crook's Tour. That is a 1941 feature-length adventure film starring Basil Radford and Naughton Wayne as the characters, as Charters and Caldecott, their beloved characters from The Lady Vanishes. So another movie not directed by Alfred Hitchcock, but starring the same guys as the same characters from the from the movie. So that's pretty cool. So you could do like a double feature of that. Hold on. I don't know what is up today, but like maybe I'm getting sick or something. But I am, yeah, it's just Ed Wood right there. All right. The Last Temptation of Christ, which I watched and really enjoyed. Martin Scorsese's film. I need more Martin Scorsese movies in my life. Now here's a movie that this is Paul's favorite film of all time, I think. At least I think that's what he's claimed. So I'm not sure, but I did see it on Criterion Channel and I really loved it, and so I had to buy it eventually, and I did. Local Hero. Uh, and no, it's not a Doctor Who movie, even though it's gonna in a phone booth there. It is written and directed by Bill Forsyth, produced by David Putnam, and it has an audio commentary track. It's got conversation between Forsyth and film critic David Cairns. It's got a lot of stuff on it. Really good movie. If you haven't seen it, it's really, really good. I don't really want to go into what it's about, but I'll say it's a Scottish flick. So it's very beautiful, beautifully shot. Next is The Lodger, another Alfred Hitchcock film, but it's his first. Like, it's the first quintessential Hitchcock film. So there you go. Kind of like him, uh, like during the panic of the Jack the Ripper. Next is The Magnificent Ambersons, another Orson Welles movie. Love that. That was great. I haven't seen it. I've heard that the biggest problem with this movie is it isn't the finished cut of what Orson Welles wanted to do. Some of the stuff was missing, and it's the best that they could come up with and everything. And I would love to see the final version. Next is The Man Who Knew Too Much. Classic. This is the original. I don't think the remake is on Criterion. I think it's still on Blu-ray, but I don't think it's on Criterion. So I think they need more Hitchcock movies to be 4K. That's my opinion. All right. Next is Matewan. We also did this for Criterion Watch. It was Paul's. I used to have this movie on like Betamax back in the day, and I'd always like been wondering about it. Like, what is this movie about? And it is not what you would think, but it's John Sayles, and it's a historical drama. It's about Coal Town and stuff. It's pretty cool. And it's got some commentary by director, Sayles, and cinematographer Haskell Wexler, who very famous cinematographer, and some other stuff. So amazing. Next is Medium Cool, which Rick Weaver sent me down to movie, as he's known on YouTube. He messaged me one day and was like, "Hey, I found this Criterion at a thrift store. Would you like it? I could sell you to you for a certain amount." And I said, "Sure." It was cheaper than even the $20 that it would cost at Barnes and Noble. So it was definitely worth it. Once again, it's actually, interestingly enough, I think this is directed by Haskell Wexler. Yeah, it's directed by Haskell Wexler. So, um, I'm interested in to see. Haven't watched it yet, but I am interested in it. I'll probably check it out sometime soon. Midnight Cowboy. Um, um, uh, this is a pretty hardcore movie to watch. Stars Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight. It's hard to watch. It's really good, but hard to watch. And speaking of hard to watch, also is My Own Private Idaho. Keanu Reeves and Phoenix, River Phoenix. Both of them are amazing in this movie. It's really, really good. If you haven't had the chance to see it, it's a great Gus Van Sant movie. It's like the beginning of his career. So I would definitely recommend it. All right, we're down to the last of this pile. So there we go. Let's put this up here. This right over here. All right. The New World, which I did for Criterion Watch. No, I did the Tree of Life. But eventually want to do this for one of the things. I think I did it for my 52-week movie challenge. Um, but I definitely want to do this eventually. I I really enjoyed it. I mean, Terrence Malick once again, never makes a bad movie. I've never seen anything of his that I go, ugh, that was terrible. Like everything was beautifully filmed. It was well done. I have a soft spot for it because it takes place in my town, Jamestown. So awesome. Night of the Living Dead. A movie for the longest time I didn't ever want to watch. And it wasn't because it wasn't, because it's black and white or whatever. It's just because it's literally a zombie movie. It's like the zombie movies of all zombie movies. But I decided to do it for Criterion Watch and watch it for the first time, and I absolutely loved it. It was great. It was impactful. It had meaning. It had political undertones, things that were very great at the time that I think today we sort of take for granted a lot of these things. And so it's amazing. Just if you haven't seen Night of the Living Dead, and if you're a horror fan and haven't seen it, you're you're I don't know what's wrong with you. Um, if you're not into zombies like I'm not, still watch it because it's very impactful. There is, this is the movie that started all zombie movies, pretty much the way that they've been going. It's a trendsetter. Really well done. Next is Notorious, Alfred Hitchcock film. We did this for Hooked on Hitchcock, and it's a movie that I absolutely adore. Marlon Brando on the waterfront. I know this has a very classic scene. I tried watching it. I ended up having a lot of other things to do, so I couldn't watch it, can finish it, but I will someday just sit back and watch it. It's only 108 minutes. It's not that long. I can definitely sit down and watch that. Speaking of long, I think no, this is only 88 minutes. Past the Glory, Stanley Kubrick. I thought this would be longer. Stanley Kubrick loves to do sort of longer movies, but no, Past the Glory, Kirk Douglas. Still haven't seen it as well. I'm not into war movies. Oh, I'm not into zombie movies, not into war movies. I get crap from John Ward all the time for all the stuff I'm not into, but just not, just not my cup of tea. However, if you guys have seen this, let me know what you guys think because I'm very interested in seeing it. It's Stanley Kubrick, but it's not his best. Um, did I already do The Killing? I guess I did, yeah. The Killing Stanley Kubrick too, and I really like that one, so probably really, really like this one as well. Pink Flamingos, another one in the P's, and we did this for What the Fuck Friday, and honestly, this is a what the fuck. But I had to get it because I mean it was a really good movie, and even though it kind of grossed me out a couple times, that was his job. I thought it was good. It's really good. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And out of all the last of this pile, then I've got one last little pile, and then I'm done. Is The Player. So if you haven't seen this, we also did this for I think it was Criterion Watch. Um, this is really good. And this is what I wanted to do originally for the first episode of Criterion Watch, what we did in a lonely place, because I want to do one in Virginia, in LA, set in LA, in an LA movie kind of thing. But I couldn't find it for some reason or another. I had it, but I couldn't find it. Later, I could find it, so I asked Paul to do it. And here we go. The Player. Wonderful, wonderful movie. Paul loved it. I mean, it's one of those films that you have to watch um if you want to do Hollywood movies eventually, like I do. All right, last pile, last pile. All right, let's. Ooh, I am tired. This is. I haven't just done this. I've done a bunch of videos, and this is probably the longest video I've done so far. So after this, I'm done for the night, which is great. So I'm really happy about that. Um, and then I start editing all these things. So fun, fun times. All right. Next is Rebecca, another Alfred Hitchcock movie that we did for Criterion Watch. And I'm gonna say this. I really, really, really love this movie. The more I watch it, the more I really, really love it even more. And I would totally recommend this movie to anybody who hasn't seen an Alfred Hitchcock movie or somebody who's seen a billion, a bunch of them and haven't seen this. Watch it. It's really, really good. Movie I haven't seen, but I've been wanting to see, and I know scenes from it, but just haven't seen it. Scanners. Sorry. I know people are probably like, why don't you go watch it tomorrow? And I just haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry. But I will. Another movie I haven't watched yet, but it's a little longer, and just it's from the director of The Player, Robert Alton. Um, it is Shortcuts. Kind of similar in the sense that like a lot of big names and a lot of like interconnecting stuff or whatever. But yeah, I mean, listen to these names. It's got Andy McDowell, Bruce Davidson, Julianne Moore, Matthew Modine, Ann Archer, Fred Ward, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Chris Penn, Lily Taylor, Robert Downey Jr. God, 187 minutes. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Madeline Stowe, Tim Robbins, Lily Tomlin, Tom Waits, Francis McDormand, Peter Gallagher, Annie Ross. I can't read these names. Lonnie Singer, Jack Lemmon, Lyle Lovett, Buck Henry, and Huey Lewis. Wow. That is. I wish I had a shortcut to all those names, but I had to read them all. God, there's a feature-length documentary about the making of Shortcuts called Luck, Trust, and Ketchup, Robert Altman in Carver Country. Um, there is a bunch of other stuff on it. It's awesome. All right. Next movie. I love this movie, and I am so happy I own it on Blu-ray. I had it on DVD for the longest time, and I I'm gonna tell you this. So, Slacker. I'm gonna show you this. This coolest thing is not just you don't just get one movie. Actually, you do. Well, you only get one disc. I'm hoping that the comes with the yep, three audio commentary tracks, including Linklater and members of the cast and crew, and It's Impossible to Learn to Plow by Reading Books, his first feature with commentary by the director, as well as a short film that we've done for Short Film Saturday. I think it's already out, called Woodstock. If not, it's going to be out soon. I think it's already out. Yeah. So, bunch of other stuff. So it's I got booklets and other stuff. I mean, it's just awesome. Um, Richard Linklater is a big influence on me because he was a big influence on Kevin Smith. And Kevin Smith was a big influence on me. So I wanted to see who influenced him and that. And later it was Alfred Hitchcock who influenced me a lot. So, and Tarantino, I have a lot of influence. I have a lot of people who I adore. Um, Straw Dogs, Dustin Hoffman, man. This movie, I saw most of it. I didn't get a chance to finish it. I'm going to at some point. Really want to, but it was pretty nasty. It's Sam Peckinpah. It's just really good. Really good. Um, Next is a movie I did finish and I did love and I did adore. Like, I was surprised. Rest in peace, James Caan. But Thief, I didn't really know much about it. I didn't even know it's directed by Michael Mann. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, please do. Another Terry Gilliam movie, Time Bandits. Definitely go check this one out. This is so funny. This movie will make you crack up. It's 116 minutes. A lot of these movies are really long, but for what they are, because comedies aren't supposed to be long, generally. But now they are. Now Judd Apatow makes 3 hour comedies, and stuff, 2.5 hour, whatever. It's just the way that Hollywood is going. They want more. I don't know why they want everything longer, but they do. Tree of Life. Speaking of longer, this is 139 minutes. Not too much longer. Not longer than a lot of these other ones. Tree of Life, really good Terrence Malick movie. So definitely go check that out if you haven't yet. I did a review of it for Criterion Watch by myself when we were doing like ones in during COVID and we hadn't figured Zoom out yet. He did one and I did one and stuff. And, I think he had people, Paul, had people for that. I did not. So there you go. Videodrome, another movie. I saw some of it, but I just wasn't able to finish it. And I'm going to, once again, another David Cronenberg. I need more David Lynch movies. I've got Mulholland Drive, but I need more of his stuff too. But Videodrome, something I'm really excited to like watch. And last, but definitely not least, I've seen it. I've seen it a few times and I really like it. It's not an easy movie to like constantly watch, but it's not hard either. Virgin Suicides, which I think also got a 4K release from Criterion. Not a movie I think, mm, I don't know. It's weird because it's a beautifully shot movie, and it's probably my favorite Sofia Coppola movie that she's done. A lot of people love Lost in Translation. I also love The Bling Ring. There's a few, that I really adore. But this movie is it for me. Um, they have interviews. I always love the commentary, but unfortunately, not a lot of these actually have commentary, and but it does have like a making of Virgin Suicides, 1998 documentary directed by Eleanor Coppola and features Sophia, Eleanor, Francis Ford Coppola, and actors like Scott Glenn, Kathleen Turner, Kristen Dunst, Josh Hartnett, and James Woods. So definitely worth it. So, woof, and that was it. That was my uh my haul video, or like my collection. I keep saying haul, but it's a collection video. I'm really happy with that collection. Next year I hope to have like at least 10 more by 2024, but we'll see. This we do a um we do a haul video on the first of the like every month and everything, and that comes out the first of the month of every month. And this year, my plan was to do, you know, all boutique films for that hall, for the DVD Blu-ray hall on at Indie Film Cafe. And I was like thinking, why, like, which, what I should do. And I think the plan ended up being like just do boutique ones like Scream Factory for, was it, uh, Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow, Criterion, and A24. And so I've got all those, and all those are going to be in my collection videos. So this is the first of my collection videos. Then I'm going to do like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do I think I'm going to do my 4Ks next, all my 4Ks. So that would include the Criterion's ones that I got as well. And it will also be like all of the ones I have. And then next after that would be maybe like Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome or Scream Factory. And I'm gonna keep doing that until I think until after maybe sometime in the summer. And then next year, hopefully I'll bring it back and do show the, how many I got in 2024, how many, what the difference is now. So anywho, that's it. That's it for my collection of this. I really have so much, so many of them, and this is my biggest collection. I don't know, my 4K is pretty big too. Um, so this is my 4K or my biggest. After then, all the other ones are kind of small. Um, but I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this collection, and I can't wait to showcase more. Because trust me, I'm going to keep getting more and more and more, especially with the Barnes and Noble sales coming up. Arrow and this will get more, each July and each November. So until then, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this and let me know what you guys think. Till then, bye.